Greetings and welcome to an All You Can Geek podcast, movie edition. Uh, no Jim though. Sans Jim here. He has some stomach flu or something going on there, so we're gonna, you know, go continue on without him and see how things go. But hope Jim gets better. Joined with me today though is Tony Korkanakis
Yo.
and Mike Snitty.
What's up?
Had to switch it up on you, Mike. I had to do it.
I mean, no, it's what I expect when it's a different host.
Yeah, well, there you go. So, all right, guys. Yeah, it's holiday season coming up pretty quick. We got through Thanksgiving. We're getting into Christmas, New Year, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, all those good things. So
Yep.
Tony and I, we went to a convention, so didn't really get to watch too much. So let's start with you, Mike. What did you check out this week?
Well, um, as we've learned, everything is about games for me lately. But because of a game, I watched a movie. Well, most of the movie. I'm not done with it yet.
Mm.
I watched Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Oh, okay. I
Um,
could see where that's headed later.
yes, because of the Great Circle coming out. I wanted to refresh myself because I have very vague recollections of the original trilogy, but I only think I've seen The Last Crusade more than once. Um, so I have like a half hour left. You know, it's good. It's a little silly. I don't understand those Harrison Ford fans that prefer, including him himself, that prefer this over Star Wars, but I like it enough. It's funny because the tone is a little different than I expected. It's silly and slapstick, but then it's also like gruesome and like bloody,
Hmm.
which was surprising to me a little bit. Um, but it's pretty good. We'll see how it finishes out. I mean, I know what happens. I do recall that pretty much all of the temple scenes and the gimmicks that they involved, I did remember those, but I didn't remember, probably because I was so young, I didn't remember any context of what was going on in the story whatsoever, because I didn't care as a kid. I just like, oh look, there's, the floor moving is snakes, or, you know,
It's gotta be
that stuff.
snakes.
Yep. So, yeah, um, pretty good, but that's it. I have the last half hour to watch, and I think I should be good to go because I know that game.
I mean, this movie's
Like,
not very long for my
Yeah.
recollection.
it's just under 2 hours, like minutes under 2 hours.
And you're only
So
playing this because of the game?
Or
I'm only
watching.
watching it because
Yeah.
the game's
Or
coming.
Wayne?
Well, I mean, I wanted to refresh myself on this, and this gives me a reason.
Okay.
It's what
Okay.
I did with Blade Runner when Blade Runner 2049 came out. I'm like, oh, I should have watched Blade Runner, but I never did. Then I watched both kind of consecutively. It was fine. Also, the version of Blade Runner I saw was probably the best because it was the last version of it.
Yeah, there was so
Without
many
some of
different
the
cuts of that movie. It was
yeah, it
hard
was
to keep
without
track.
the weird voiceover shit that no one likes. So, um,
Mm.
yeah. So yeah, rewatching it now, and I know I don't know, the Temple of Doom doesn't even like, is that a prequel or something? Like technically, like I heard it's weird
Temple of Doom?
chronologically. Yeah,
Mm,
the middle one.
I don't
No one
think
remembers.
so.
I think Jim would know,
Yeah,
but
definitely. Too bad he's not here, Jim.
no.
All right. Well, anything else, Mike?
No, it took a lot of time away from what I wanted to be doing, honestly, to watch that much of a movie. So
Fair
yeah.
enough. Tony, I know, like we mentioned earlier, we were kind of away, so that didn't get to do too much viewing stuff, I assume. But did you
Nope.
check anything out?
Nope.
Nothing. Yep. Same.
Nope.
Same for me. Like we went to Philly for a board game convention. It was great. So no time to watch any movies or TV really. So let's move into the box office. Box office is what do you expect? Nothing new really. We still had Moana 2 at number one with
Yeah,
a little
still
over 50
dominating.
million. Crazy. It's that movie is on fire.
Is that a billion yet? Or worldwide or no?
Worldwide, let's see, 601 worldwide.
Hmm.
So it's doing better domestically than it is internationally. Domestically,
This
it's 301. Internationally, it's 299.
Hmm.
yeah.
Oh,
There's
299 and change.
I think I saw the first one was. I'll look it up.
I think
'Cause
foreign markets might be a little. I don't know.
I don't know if it's open
very.
in all of them yet, but
Yeah.
yeah, it's killing it.
Oh
Six of
no,
one,
international legged out 400 to 250 for the
We
first
got
one.
it more updated. Sweet. That's the 101.
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know. I was just seeing how much
Oh,
international
it's
did
the
last time.
opposite this time.
Mm-hmm. I mean, still, it's this week 2, right? So it's
Yeah.
like we still probably got a few more weeks here before Sonic comes out, and then you got I think Lion King, but I don't know if that's gonna do anything. Anyways, we got
Who
Wicked
knows?
still up
You
there.
don't know. Yep.
Yeah, Wicked with 36, number 2. Gladiator 2 at number 3 with 12. Red 1 is still there at number 4. So it's still making money, I suppose. But yeah,
Yeah. Lots of
that's their
stuff I
box
don't want to
office.
see.
Same
Yep.
stuff. I think uh, you know, the big stuff we're waiting for is Sonic, right? I mean that's the next big one. Mufasa is
I don't know
gonna
if it's gonna be
be the
big,
thing.
big. Like it's gonna be big, but I don't think
Now
it's
the
gonna do
Sonic
better than
movies.
Moana 2.
Sonic? Well, no, I'm not saying
Yeah.
it's going to do better than
Oh,
Moana
okay.
2. I think that's the next like it's going to
Gotcha.
make $100 million.
Yeah.
Not everything does. But yeah, no, Moana 2 is killing it. And it probably doesn't even do better than Wicked, I don't think. Because Wicked's
No.
still killing it. I mean, Wicked's got 325 domestic.
The other Sonic movies did well, but they weren't like world breakers. So, um, of course, the first one was a COVID movie. It was a weird time. But
Mm.
yeah, I don't see it really being like one of the top tier ones this year, but should do good enough.
All right, guys, let's move into the news. We do have a couple things that came out recently within the comic book movie universes here. Let's just start off and get it out of the way because nobody cares. It's a good time, but the Sony Spider-Man extended universe is finally being shut down. Craven the Hunter's coming out, and then that's it. No more Sony extended Spider-Man universe movies after that.
The
Oh,
long
no, please
nightmare is
don't.
finally over.
Yeah, like I was saying in our Discord, like I'm surprised Venom did as well as it did. That is
Then
amazing to me because of the fact
that
that
was
it's
the
so
only one.
closely tied to Spider-Man, and yet you just do it without him. So, and all these
Yeah.
movies are doing it without Spider-Man. Like if you're going to do extended universe things, usually you bring in the main character of that universe in some fashion. But
I
yeah,
suppose they were trying to wait to do that, but no one had the patience because everything was terrible.
yeah, well,
So
yeah. I mean, no, it's not making money, and it's just getting crapped on the entire time. Yep.
just Venom, just Venom,
Well,
probably because he's the most popular character.
and they made
of
3 of
those.
them. Crazy.
Yeah. I just kind of wonder if they wish they had just done like a Sinister Six storyline or whatever with Venom instead of Spider-Man. Like, just been like, you know what? We're not gonna touch Spider-Man, but it'll just be like you just replace Spider-Man with Venom.
I
And
think, yeah, if they did that, they might have had more success.
Mhm.
Especially after how well Venom 1 did. Like, you
Right.
could have just pivoted right there and done it. But
They could have done it themselves and not have to worry about all of that nonsense fighting over Spider-Man. But now, they were trying to build up to something that was never going to happen.
I mean, as far as what we got with Spider-Man, though, like I'm so happy Marvel and Sony were able to come to some type of agreement and have Spider-Man in these movies because Tom Holland's Spider-Man is fantastic. We love it, and we're gonna get a 4th one soon. Well, soon. Air quotes.
Yeah,
At some point.
I mean, yeah, it still's had problems for the same reason, that same fight between these studios, which is annoying, but
Yeah.
we'll see.
So, in any case, that's over with. We can move on finally, and
We can rest easy as this the Spider-Verse without Spider-Man is dead.
And talking about, let's keep it in that whole like extended universe here, and talking about Tony and I, we were just talking about this the other day about how with Marvel Rivals and certain characters and things that we were talking about, and Magic came up, and I was like, oh man, Magic was pretty good in New Mutants and extended movie, and now we get news that and Anya Taylor-Joy is cast as Magic in the Avengers Doomsday film. So that's for me, that's great because
Yeah,
I
that's awesome.
thought she was like one of the best or highlights of that film, New Mutants, and she's like perfect casting for that role. Uh, you know, Mike, what was your thoughts there?
Well, I mean, I got a lot of exposure to this character through Midnight Suns.
Hmm.
I really didn't. I knew that Colossus had a sister, but I didn't know she was like this like super powerful mutant in her own right, really, until really Midnight Suns. I think I like read something where I took note of that but didn't care to like follow through and think about it. But so I spent that game is funny because you spend a lot of time like talking to them, and she's a bit of a fan favorite amongst the fans of Midnight Suns, the game. So that was cool. I didn't watch New Mutants, so I didn't
Not many
realize
people
that.
did.
No, no, I didn't realize that she was already cast in that role. But she's also in Marvel Rivals, and yeah, there's been a big resurgence, or not even resurgence, but just like an upward trajectory of her character being at the forefront in Marvel, and it's cool. She's an interesting character, and it's funny though. She's hardly ever with Colossus now. Did I say Cyclops earlier?
You were
You say
about.
Claus.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, she's
Yeah.
been a mainstay in the X-Men comics for probably
Mhm.
at least a little over a decade. I mean, she's gotten more attention than Colossus even in the comics actually, because they kind of
Yeah.
I don't know, they took him in a weird direction, and like I feel like they never covered with him, especially
He's very
after.
one-dimensional, also.
Yeah, well, especially because like so much early was his romance with Kitty Pryde, and once it fizzled out, or during one of the times it was like, oh well, she went on to date Star Lord and like whoever this and the other thing. It's like I don't know like, what. It's just sometimes when those characters get paired up with somebody else and they're known for that, like it's hard for the individual character to recover. But anyway, no, Magic is cool. It's really awesome, just at least in the comics and whatever her representation is in the other media. She's like, kind of like got this like bad bitch type of attitude, but like not
Right.
like I'm evil bad bitch, but like I could be if I wanted to, right? Where it's like,
Hmm.
yeah, I spent some time in hell. Like I was / am a ruler of hell at some point, depending
Yeah.
on
Queen of whatever hell dimension she got stuck in or something.
yeah, as Dark Child and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I mean, her skill set's pretty awesome. Her design is just cool. It's very flashy. She has a big sword, stuff like that. So I was really happy that she even got in Marvel Rivals to begin with, because like she's kind of like a tier 2 pick in terms of like, oh,
Hmm.
obviously it's not like the '90s X-Men, which is what I would put like as like the top tier, right? Because that was the
You
most
have your
prominent.
mainstays in Marvel that people think of these days, and Magic's usually not on that list
Right,
as far as general knowledge goes.
right. But now it's
She's
her
on her
time.
way up
Yep,
now.
she's on her way up. Now it's her time. She's in Rivals. She's gonna be in Avengers movie. She's in Midnight Suns and stuff like that. So, hoping she can rise to prominence as the modern era X-Men that she deserves to be and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
happy
and
about that
Anya
cast.
Taylor-Joy is a great cat. I thought it was perfect casting in New Mutants, and now like even better that she's coming back here. That's awesome. Does that make New Mutants canon though? I guess
Nah,
it's all
I
part
think
of
they're just gonna
an
use it because it's
extended.
perfect casting, right? Like same thing with like
Hmm.
Hugh Jackman, right? It's like, yeah, it's Wolverine, I guess. Question mark,
A
whatever.
different universe magic, but same actor.
Hmm.
But yeah, that's awesome casting. So yeah, we're getting her, and Doomsday is coming along as far as the casting goes. So, but not just like
That's
Magic
not even the
coming back.
big news with casting this week.
Yeah, well, we also have Chris Evans returning. I don't know if that's what you're leaning towards, but we also
Yeah,
have Chris
was
Evans
there
returning to
something
the.
else we were gonna talk about? I thought that was the big news.
Yes, but I was just
Yes,
gonna
I
tie into
guess.
Doomsday
Oh,
first because Chris Evans is coming back in Doomsday. So yeah,
well, no,
but
that's what I was talking about. I was like, that's not even the biggest casting of the week, but yeah.
right. Yeah, so because Chris Evans has said before he's done with Captain America. He's done with the role. He's kind of did everything he needed to do, finished the story and whatnot. But there is more to do with these characters, and we got our Robert Downey Jr. back in a different role, but similar thing here. We're gonna be getting some of these old actors back. I think just the way that the Marvel Cinematic Universe and some of these other phases have gone, I think they feel like they need to bring some familiar faces back, and they're just backing up the dump truck of money to help, ease the path to get these guys on screen again. And Chris Evans is returning. So what do you think, Tony?
Uh, I mean, for them it'll be good, right? Because like he'll put butts in seats if they're announcing it, right? Like it was kind of like a spoiler alert if you haven't heard already. They kept a hush hush about Deadpool and Wolverine, obviously with his casting there, and I think that was fun. But if they're announcing the casting or are going to, because I think this is a rumor or like almost vetted or whatever like that. They're gonna want to use him in the marketing and stuff like that and put him in seats. I mean, and we even said this, I think, after Endgame, right? It's like comic book characters are known for coming back to life, right? Like it's just I'm pretty sure the only one that stays as Uncle Ben and original
Well,
one
he
stays.
just keeps dying. He'll be back, but he keeps dying.
So it's like, okay, I mean, we can never know who's actually going to be dead. So it's not like, oh, either of them returning, Robert Downey Jr. or Chris Evans returning as their role, if it is going to be the original or whatever, it would bother me too much. The one thing I would say is like the fact that they ended with Endgame, right? And it's like they set up the universe to have these giant shoes for other characters to fill, and kind of meandered around with like just, like we didn't really have anybody step into that, like despite, and I get some of it was out of their hands, like Black Panther, right? But like you had Captain Marvel, you had Shang-Chi, you had Spider-Man setting up to be, a new founding Avenger or stuff like that. So for it to be like, hey guys, this is the send-off for original Cap and original Iron Man, and now it's like, oh, well, they're coming back. And it's like, but we need to have one Avengers movie without them, right? Like, it's hard to miss them when it feels like they haven't really been gone.
Yeah, no,
at least that's my input.
That even Robert Downey Jr. mentioned. He's like, it would be like for me to come back. Like, wouldn't that be like a punch to the gut for these people to just be like, oh, well, you invested all this stuff into this character and like this emotional moment, and now, oh, hey, here I am again. And so, and him coming back as a different character, but him coming back on screen is going to be interesting to see how it goes. And we still don't know if Chris Evans is playing Captain America.
We don't know.
Assume. I mean, kind of.
Wouldn't it be
like,
funny?
Why bring him back for Doomsday if you're not going to do that? But
just bring him back as Human Torch again. It'd be funny.
I don't know if it'd be funny to say. I mean, I'd still laugh, but like I don't know. Like once you use that joke, right?
Is it was in a serious like Avengers movie?
I mean, he also got. He also doesn't really have a. I mean, yeah, nobody's really dead, but.
No. Well, the thing about him as Captain America is he wasn't really dead at the end.
No.
He was old and also hopping through time, so he's easy to bring back. You could easily bring him back. Just
you make up some shit like, oh, he popped to the present or the future or whatever. Yeah, which is fine.
It's just also weird too because you're promoting a new Captain America movie with a different actor stepping into that role, and then you're just gonna like bring back Cap again, the original Cap, in a couple of years after. So
yeah, I mean they could just do it as like a, kind of like a glorified multiverse thing, and like, oh, we'll have current Sam Wilson Captain America and like alternate Chris Evans Captain America teaming up again, right? And you could do some iconic, dual shield, crossover team up power move like Marvel Rivals, right? Where it's like, they're blocking some epic Doom, I don't know, energy blast or whatever, I don't know. That's whatever. Well, I'll have to see it before I judge it. It's just kind of like makes me shrug right now. I'm just like, oh, okay. Like I kind of expected him to be in it, even if you didn't say it, right? So
that's exactly, especially with RDJ.
RDJ, right? After RDJ was announced, like at that Comic-Con show, it was like free game, right? Like if you're getting the number one back, like anybody is possible.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I expect Thanos will be there as well.
Yeah,
why not? All right, guys. Yeah, so that's coming out. Chris Evans. But more cast news for the Harry Potter show on HBO. There's some interesting things because I know, like, I wish Jim was here because, like,
because he's the only Harry Potter fan. I don't know.
Well, just because he would be more excited about this, I think, because I love Ted Lasso, and
Yeah,
there's an
sure.
actor in Ted Lasso that's got cast. Well, this is all not necessarily confirmed. It's just rumors, but we have, and let me pull it up because I didn't have it now, of course. But
What is this
Brett
show though?
Goldstein.
Is this supposed to be a prequel to the movies? Is this just a
No,
different
no,
No, it's
adaptation?
supposed to be a
it's
reboot.
a yeah, it's just gonna be like they'll probably do season one of it as book one, and they'll
Hmm.
try to extend it out and do as much as
Ugh.
they can. But yeah, Harry,
We talked about
Brett,
it. I called this years ago. I said this. They would
yeah,
eventually
I
do
mean
this.
definitely. I mean we all like I remember like definitely we're saying this should be a TV
It's
show because you can
TV show.
extend it
Yeah.
out, like, do all the stuff that's in the books, or at least touch on more of what's in the books.
Hmm.
You don't have to cut stuff out. It makes so much sense because each season's another year at
Yep.
Hogwarts. Like,
Hmm.
yeah, it kind of writes itself there. But yeah, Brett
Like,
Goldstein,
yeah.
Goldstein from Ted Lasso is rumored to play Hagrid. We have Mark Strong is rumored to play Albus Dumbledore, and then Sharon Horgan is rumored to play McGonagall, which is fine.
Meh.
I think.
Who cares? I don't care. Fuck Harry Potter.
I don't even think Harry Potter fans are going to care about this because I feel like they're very much into the cinematic universe that was built
For
already
sure.
in those
But I
older
mean,
movies.
the whole point of this is for both Warner Brothers slash HBO slash J.K. Rowling to get more money. That's it. Um,
Well, yeah,
you're gonna have some fans that will eat up anything Harry Potter, right? You'll just look at
Mhm.
what was
The Cursed Child.
the well, not yeah, Cursed Child, but like even the secondary series. What was it? The movie
yeah,
series,
Fantastic
Oh,
Fantastic
Beasts.
Beasts,
Fantastic
right?
Beasts. Yeah.
Right, Fantastic Beasts. You're gonna have people
Well,
that are gonna eat
they
it up
did
no matter what, but you're also gonna
right,
invite
but
new fans, right? Because
Well, that's the whole thing, right? Is the new generation of kids that
yeah,
did not grow up with Harry Potter, and
hmm
that's what you're going for here.
so
But I think I still do love the Harry Potter universe. I think
I
it's
don't know,
great. But
absolutely. I mean, it's a mainstay, right? For
hmm
better, for worse, but I don't know. For me, it's hard to get excited because again, like source materials,
well,
whatever. But also, J.K. Rowling's a piece of shit, so it's like I'm not gonna give
no, I
her
get that. I
money
mean, it's hard. You
indirectly or
don't want to
directly.
support someone you don't agree with, and like I understand that.
Right. Especially when like all the cast pretty much of the original movies has come out and been like, yeah, we don't agree with her. She's crazy. And it's like, again, I just said it before. It's like she just seems like she wants to push us out there so she could replace those actors that have quote
hmm
unquote betrayed her and get new Harry and new Hagrid and new Hermione and new Ron. It's like these are the canon new ones for the next 7 years. It's like, all right, sure,
oh,
whatever.
didn't know she was Yoda.
I mean, I haven't heard
I
her
mean, she
talk.
can be whatever she wants, except she won't let you be whatever you want.
Yeah, exactly.
And finally, that's in the news. We had the Warhammer show that Henry Cavill has been trying to get like greenlit forever is finally going forward. Looks like
Is it?
game. Yeah. What are they called?
I just read the headline and it said not dead. I don't know if that means it's
No.
going
Well, I
forward.
don't. It was in the article I read. I don't know where it was, but I found this one. It was just saying it's finally been greenlit. Games Workshop is the IP, the owner of the Warhammer IP, and they finally have come to an agreement and are going to start going forward with this Warhammer
He might be
40K
executive directing
project.
it too. So, at least that's the thing I read from wherever.
I mean, and Cavill's been this has like been like
A dream
pet
project
project.
of his.
Yeah,
Yeah.
something that he's been wanting to get done. Like, so I'm usually like pretty skeptical of like IP things like this. No, normally, but when there's an actor who's like so passionately
Mm-hmm.
invested into something like this, I'm very curious to see how it comes together.
Right.
And
It just feels
they
like
Is
can't
like
that
do
Deadpool and Ryan Reynolds, right? Because like he
exactly.
wanted to do that.
Yeah, this is that for him, right? So I mean, it could just crash and burn and
Yeah,
just be
absolutely.
terrible,
Yeah.
but like I love seeing when these guys can get something like this done and a passion project that they've been dreaming about for sure.
Right. It's better than
I'll
like
believe
we've.
it when I see it.
I mean,
Will you see
that's
it?
all we can do.
Do you even care about Warhammer?
Well, listen, well, I don't care about Warhammer, but
Okay.
I just feel like Henry Cavill never gets anything done when he wants to do it. It's just what
Yeah, I mean
happens.
that's balancing
Uh,
his lot there.
yeah.
I mean, he did
Is
get to
it?
play
Yep.
Drawl, so
Is it?
Yeah, for a little bit, and then that was that was it after 2 seasons.
well,
Didn't go the way he wanted.
I mean,
and
I
that
give him a lot of credit for not like.
Well, that's what
continuing to
happens
play a
when the
character when you
creators don't
agree.
respect it, right? Like we talked about it recently with Yakuza, right? Because like the writers apparently didn't respect the source material of The Witcher, right? So that was that. Didn't
Absolutely. I
seem,
mean, that's the whole thing. Is like his whole Cavill was excited to do that because he loved the book series
yeah,
and wanted to
right?
represent that on the small screen there. And then, of course, other
hmm
influences get involved, and people are like, "Oh, we're just gonna do our own thing." It's like, wait a second, I
yep,
didn't sign on for this.
And previously, I mean, what are we gonna pretend like The Rock cared about his portrayal as Superman? You know, when they try to bring him back, it's like, oh yeah, we got
Cared
Superman back.
enough to
It's like,
give him something to do,
mm,
but
I mean, Cavill was probably promised like, "Oh, we're gonna bring it back," and like, so he's probably excited for it. And then, he had to go out and apologize to everybody. Be like,
go.
"Oh, sorry,
did a
guys."
cameo, and that was it. So yeah,
But
no,
that's all I
we'll
got
see.
for you this week, guys. Not much news usually this holiday season, so
It's
uh,
quiet.
it's quiet, and
Just Sonic
got
coming
holiday
up.
stuff.
That's it.
Exactly. So remember to check us out every Tuesday around 8 o'clock. We start the Moviecast. Check us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and send us a message. Comment. We'll definitely get back to you. Join us live. We'll chat with you when we do. But in the meantime, we'll see you all next week.